Governor Yahaya Bello, 4 years achievements in office. Political power anywhere in the world is not for persons unwilling to face challenges. For Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, he has had to deal with challenges of governance even before he came into power. Not a few remember the challenging circumstances and intrigues that brought Governor Bello to power following the unfortunate death of Prince Abubakar Audu. Since Alhaji Yahaya Bello became governor in January 2016, it's been one challenge after another. But after more than 4 years at the helm of affairs, Governor Bello has shown that he is more than equal to the tasks he has confronted. Governor Bello took over the reins of power in Kogi State when security was in an absolute mess. Terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and other dangerous criminals were having a field day within the state borders, while deadly communal clashes were breaking out with such unbelievable regularity. But in the last 4 years, much of that has changed as Governor Bello made security a top priority, not just in words, but in actions also. Such actions include providing security operatives with much-needed support, especially in the area of motor vehicles, which was contributed in no small way to in enhancing the efficiency of security agencies operating in the state. Governor Bello also approved the employment of thousands of community policing officers formed into vigilante groups who have complemented the efforts of the conventional security outfits in no small way.
The area of security he has achieved, because you need to be secure to think of any other thing. Life comes first. So having achieved that, I want to say that yes, he has tried so much.
When you look at the crime rates before he came on board, the statistic of the kidnapping and other boundaries, because Kogi, being the hubs of the country, we have boundary with about 10 states and Abuja, so it makes us vulnerable to the crimes. But when you come through the activities of the vigilantes, then empower the youth, then the crime rate, when you look at it from the crime rate statistic, there's a drop.
These were just some of achievements considered when Governor Bello was in 2017 adjudged the most security-friendly governor in Nigeria by Daily Times. In addition to recognition by the Nigerian police, Governor Bello also received national and international awards and accolades for his feat on the security front. This has translated into an influx of foreign investors into Kogi State, which was hitherto a no-go area. Even ambassadors from other countries were creating time to visit the state to get eyewitness accounts of the security transformation.
He also reiterated his determination to ensure the continuation of efforts on ensuring security across the state. You'll be aware that security is one of the high points of the present administration in the state. So he has expressed his commitment to strengthen this, to ensure that we have enough security that can serve as impetus for development.
Healthcare is another area that has witnessed a giant leap forward under Governor Yahaya Bello's watch. New health centers and cottage hospitals were built, while existing facilities were not only given a facelift but were also provided with adequate drugs and state-of-the-art facilities. Free medical services are now widely available to most people across the state, especially indigent persons.
You can see this environment and this building is newly renovated by the government. The community are very happy. They don't have this type of facility before. So we thank God for the government with the plan to see that the healthcare delivery system is going well in the community.
On behalf of the community, we appreciate the governor for being a man of his word. He promised and he fulfilled it.
Impacts a lot in many people's life, because what you don't have money to buy, you just get it free of charge. And I thank God that I'm very, very happy. I'm one of the beneficiaries.
So we concentrate our efforts on the primary health care. 1, in giving it a fence. 2, provision of water. 3, equipping of the hospital.
His programs have been people-oriented program, and this has afforded him to establish strong link with the people at the grassroots.
The all-important education sector of the state has also undergone some transformation under Governor Yahaya Bello'S watch. Kogi State students are known for their academic prowess, and Governor Bello is conscious of the fact that such tradition can only be sustained through the provision of the right learning environment.
At this time, we have a good working relationship with the National Teachers Institute, a good working relationship with the National Business Technical Education Board, a good working relationship with the Teaching Registration Council of Nigeria. So His Excellency has paid strong attention to organizational and institutional framework.
What he met on the ground, however, was not encouraging, but he soon began turning things around. Governor Bello'S education sector restructuring began with the establishment of model schools across the state's 3 senatorial zones. The schools were different from anything previously witnessed in the state. Alongside the establishment of model schools came the training and retraining of teachers in many state government schools.
The workshop tagged as capacity building is a masterpiece program. Why I'm saying that is that we have never had it well as we had it today, under the auspices, under the canopy of this very regime.
It was really fine training that everybody concerned did it passionately. I personally attended because I wanted to see the quality. It was better. What is done in outside this country is exactly what they've done.
If you can practice what is being taught, it will definitely impact. There are many things we don't know that we have been doing wrongly, but we have been corrected. Let me just summarize it to be revival in the educational sector of Kogi State.
And still on education, Governor Bello ensured there was minimal disruption to the academic calendar as he made teachers' welfare top priority. This kept them happy, giving them no reason to go on strike.
What has His Excellency done? He took a bold step in addressing labor unrest. If you have an academic semester or session that should have lasted for X months, and you are now doing crash program because you want to push in more than 2-3 semesters within 1 year, it affects the quality of learning. So why not we simply said, like I remember when I was in the university, and then in 94, 95, there was no academic session because of a prolonged ASU strike. So we lost 1 academic year. So, and then the question would have been, when you have that scenario, why not lose the academic year and go on with an even-paced one? We are able to have this conversation only because His Excellency, through the proscription of the labor union, has brought in a measure of rest. If not, in 2016, in 2017, academic calendar in Kogi State was strongly distorted. The students were at the receiving end of it all. That is not to say that all the issues have been addressed, but it's just a way of saying that while the issues can be addressed, it shouldn't be a total stoppage. But again, finding a sane way of resolving this means we could actually still have sanity within the system, address those other issues, and with the support we could give and increase funding.
The same can be said of the state-owned tertiary education institutions, which have over the last 4 years enjoyed priority attention from the Yahaya Bello administration. Governor Yahaya Bello came into office and met what was, at the time, probably the worst-run civil service in Nigeria. Inefficiency and ineffectiveness brought about by the laissez-faire attitude of past administrations was a major problem Governor Bello had to solve. But a bigger problem lay ahead. It was discovered that for years, the state had been paying salaries and allowances to thousands of ghost workers. This was a well-networked, monumental fraud running into billions of naira. Systematically and painstakingly, the ghost workers were uncovered and flushed out. This was followed up with a screening exercise which ensured that only bona fide workers were on the state government's payroll. This, coupled with the introduction of the biometric under-the-table salary payment system, sanitized the Kogi State Civil Service payroll. Other payroll-related crimes were also uncovered, and this saved the state government monumental sums of money which had in the past entered into the pockets of fraudulent persons.
Governor Yahaya Bello'S approved the table payment exercise for the purpose of putting to rise the issue of the screening, and that is to make us to achieve a perfect nominal and a complete and accurate payroll. For the state, at the end of the exercise, we still have over 3 million checks uncollected, which will go a long way to tell you that the exercise was a huge success.
In all, reducing the cost of wage bill or money going to some unintended beneficiaries in the cost of the assignment, and equally to some workers who were screened out in the cost of the screening exercise for one reason or the other, equally got themselves cleared by the pay parade when they went out to see that discoveries were made that they were genuinely supposed to be on the payroll, and along the line they were returned back to payroll. I think it was a very successful exercise so far, being done for both pensioners and the civil servants.
Since November last year that we had that of the state and the data were collected, they've been receiving salaries, and it has been the usual way, e-payment, through their various bank accounts.
There are several other benefits that will be accrued to all the workers, starting from myself down to the last worker in Kogi State. We have contributory pension scheme that we want to start, the National Health Insurance Scheme, the National Housing Scheme, and several others. So we must build a data in Kogi State that will outlive this particular administration, and it will continue to serve the people of Kogi State.
The screening is better than all those ones we have been doing so far. I prefer it so that they know the numbers of people and the really people who are taking the salary.
And as far as I'm concerned, he's using the right measure to give and to establish his administration.
Revenue generation is key to the growth and development of any state. This explains why Governor Bello has not only focused on the areas of potential revenue generation, he has placed premium on the need for the State Internal Revenue Service to be well positioned to perform its function of maximizing revenue generation in Kogi State. The construction and commissioning of Internal Revenue House, where the revenue generation activity is coordinated, is an example of that commitment.
All revenues generated from the management of the international market and other markets built by the state should be paid directly into IGR's account through automated collection process.
I will only emphasize or re-emphasize some of the points or the recommendations he has made.
Kogi State is one of Nigeria's most blessed in the area of mineral and natural resources. Before Governor Bello came into office, the people of the state had not enjoyed the benefits of these resources. But that is all about to change. The construction of the Omi Dam Rice Mill in Kogi West, where the state-owned Confluence Rice will be produced, is at an advanced stage. The mill, upon completion, will be Nigeria's largest. In addition to meeting the consumption needs of the people, the mill will provide jobs and bring about appreciable development to the host communities.
If you talk about the agricultural sector, by the special grace of God, today in its first tenure, we have the Omi Dam Rice Company in place, which we actually employed thousands of Kogi youths. The Bureau of Statistics, they can testify to that. Kogi State have really employed more youths compared to other states?
On assumption of office of Alhaji Yahaya Bello, he made it very clear that his priorities, or what his priorities will be, and agriculture happens to be one of the priorities. And he followed it up with action by declaring a state of emergency in agriculture, by having a stakeholders meeting with all farmers in the state to have a first-hand information as regards their challenges, so that whatever solution we are preferring will be tailored towards those challenges. And from that interaction, some things came up. One, that farmers need loan to be able to do farming, that they need government to help them clear land to be able to do farming, that they need inputs, that they need various interventions, because hitherto the challenges have been they don't have funds to carry out some of those activities. And His Excellency immediately gave directives that some things be put in place. One, that we must buy enough agricultural equipment, because we cannot be saying we are declaring state of emergency in agric when we don't have tools to work with. When we came in, all the bulldozers they have a Ministry of Agri were grounded. Not even one was working. Their trailers, their tractors were grounded. Everything was grounded. That we have started resuscitating. We now have some bulldozers that are okay, working. We have tractors now that are okay, and we have placed orders for other farm equipment like tractors.
No country, state, town, or community can function effectively without an efficient road network and vibrant transport system. Kogi State shares boundaries with 9 other states and the Federal Capital Territory. So, the need for the state to have the right road infrastructure cannot be overemphasized. Immediately upon assumption of office, Governor Bello, in realization of this, got to work on the construction and repair of key inter- and intra-township roads. Though this is still work in progress, the road networks in Kogi State have witnessed a massive transformation, and with 4 more years in the saddle, there is more than enough evidence on ground already to suggest that Kogi State, at the end of Yahaya Bello'S second tenure, will be a reference point for road development in Nigeria.
And we suffered for too many years. Too many years. Many administrations have passed. They promised and failed. Yet this is being realized in our time.
Excellency came and he promised that he will deliver on this road within the first 2 years of his government. And you can see, he's delivering. That's why the younger generation of Kogi people, especially my kingsmen from the Ikala Kingdom, now see leadership as not the language you speak, but the heart you have for people.
Before Governor Yahaya Bello took charge of affairs, Kogi State, and particularly the state capital Lokoja, was one of Nigeria's centers of filth, no thanks to years of past planlessness and neglect. But since January 2016, the state and its capital has witnessed a steady and systematic transformation. Governor Bello wasted no time in engaging reputable cleaning service companies who work around the clock to ensure the maintenance of a clean and healthy environment. The dividends of this commitment to environmental sanitation are now being enjoyed as the state's key cities and suburbs are now wearing a completely different look from what obtained in the past.
The government has taken a very bold step to see how each street can be named, and people taking responsibility of the environment, the security and the cleanliness of the environment.
They are trying for us, helping us to withdraw the youth from the streets and get them occupied.
Compared to other states, I think this place is beautiful, it's clean.
And from my excellence, I have fear of God engagement in this service. So I have a relationship with the state government, and I must do the best to the best of my ability.
No assessment of Governor Yahaya Bello'S 4 years will be complete without mentioning his achievements on the ethno-religious and traditional fronts in the state. Though he is a devout Muslim, he has not allowed that to becloud his decisions in ensuring all religious faiths are given due recognition and protection. There is probably no better evidence of this than the building of a church building in Government House, Lokoja, a feat that brought smiles to people of all faiths.
First and foremost, this is a miracle. Number two, this is the heart of somebody who loves God, who honors God, and who is building a house for God.
Balanced religious leadership. Evidently, we have a chapel in Government House today, 28 years after. It's still the courtesy of His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello'S, a Muslim for that matter.
Kogi State is a multi-ethnic entity with 3 major tribes, the Igala, Okun, and Governor Bello'S own Ebira ethnic group. Whether it's in his choice of appointments, citing of government projects, or allocation of resources, all Governor Bello'S decisions have been made on merit with due consideration for ethnic balancing.
We rely ultimately on God Almighty as the giver of power. 2, a total connection with the people, the masses of Kogi State, without too many middlemen in the way. 3, a detribalized leadership style where all ethnic entities that make up Kogi State are given equal and fair and just opportunity to serve in Kogi State.
The detribalized governor. I will forever be grateful to His Excellency because he didn't know me from anywhere before making me the SIG. He brought me back to my source, and that is what he has done to so many. Once you are capable to do the job, he puts you there. And that is the one Kogi we've been preaching and we've been dreaming of.
This explains why there has been no ethnic or religious crisis in the state since Governor Bello came to power. Culture and tradition is very dear to the people of Kogi State, Governor Yahaya Bello inclusive. This explains why in the last 4 years he has paid keen attention to its growth and development. He restored all Igala cultural festivals banned for over 50 years. The State Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs has been empowered by Governor Bello to take meaningful and far-reaching decisions, especially in resolving traditional stool disputes.
As the people who are president to Kenya, our traditional annual festival was put in limbo as far as that ceremony was what is the years ago. Several of the guys that come 2, 3, 4 for this case, they refuse to honor it. Abela, Bello killed. A 64-year-old man on it with a stroke of the pen. This is a victim. We remove it.
There is so much to say about Governor Yahaya Bello'S 4 years stewardship. Looking into the future, everything suggests that there will be plenty to say on his next 4 years. A look at some of the more than 50 key bills passed by the State House of Assembly, which the governor has signed into law, is a clear indication of the direction the state government is heading in the next 4 years.
APC in Kogi State delivered for Mr. President and Mr. Vice President excellently. Today in the red chambers, that's the Senate, APC has 3 senators coming from none in 2015. And then out of the 9 House of Representatives slots available, APC got 7 in the first instance. The courts had thought otherwise on 1 out of the 7. That's the Lokoja Kogi Federal Constituency that we won in 2018 in the by-elections. And today we have 6 members of the All Progressive Congress in the Green Chambers. And then coming to the states, 25 state constituency. For the first time in the history of Kogi State, our party, the All Progressive Congress, has a clean sweep, 100% All Progressive Congress. And then the big one, which happened on the November 16th, 2019. That was the elections for gubernatorial seats and the deputy governorship seats. Our party, the All Progressive Congress, with His Excellency, our leader and Governor Alhaji Yahaya Bello'S as the flag bearer, and I, my humble self, Onoja Edward David, as his running mate in the elections, came out victorious with an unprecedented victory at any governorship elections in the history of Kogi State after 28 years.
Governor Bello himself, after his reflection, said he will dedicate his second tenure to rewarding the people for the trust they showed by voting massively for him in the November 2019 governorship election.
This particular wonderful success recorded in this particular election couldn't have been possible without God Almighty, without the cooperation, understanding, and the belief of the people, the citizens and the residents of Kogi State. I sincerely appreciate the people of Kogi State who teamed out en masse to repose this confidence and trust and believe in myself and my brother Edward David Omoja. I want to sincerely appreciate you and thank you for this wonderful job well done. I want to urge you and assure you that my administration, as we're winding up this first term, going into the second term, will continue to pursue all the laudable projects, programs, and projects across the state, irrespective of your ethnic background, religious background, class difference, and senatorial district. This victory is for all the citizens of Kogi State.
And with what the state has witnessed under his watch in the last 4 years, there seems no reason to doubt him. It was during Governor Bello's first tenure, AA Rano and Always Oil established their stations in Lokoja. He has employed thousands of graduates into health, finance, teaching and information sectors of the ministries.
Nationwide, Kogi State has the average youthful numbers in government. Prudence in prioritizing the utilization of funds in the state to areas that will touch more lives rather than very few people. And finally, continuous open door policy, allowing people to air their view, taking in people who have diverse opinion prior to this period, and building a stronger family for the All Progressive Congress. The hope is, in one sentence, His Excellency has promised that this government, starting Monday, will only do more consolidation on the efforts of the last 4 years. So, Kogi people, be hopeful. You can only get better.
His administration has also built new SDG house, and on the line to be launched soon is Diagnostic Center.